Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And this is my review on love during lockup. Season 7, episode 4. And I'm going to call it Tears in Trap Houses, okay? Let's see who's in the building. Hey, Princess. Kashari, girl, I know you changed your name, but I know that's you, boo. Where have you been? If you have Instagram, please DM me because we need to talk, Kashari. We need to talk, girl. We need to talk. Hey, Leo. Hey, Mrs. T. Let's get into it. Make sure you hit the like button. Now, if I had to rate this episode, what would I rate this episode? I would say a C minus. I'm gonna say a C minus. And I got my issues with this episode. I don't know if I'm just over the stupidity or people playing dumb, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a C minus. Y'all let me know what y'all give this actual episode in the chat. Hey, Vanessa girl. Hope all is well. I have been praying for you. I've been praying for you, and I will continue to pray for you, ma'am. So yeah, I try my best when you guys tell me certain things to remember them and try to keep you guys in my prayers. So prayers. You give it a B. I feel like we're getting little nuggets of things that are hopefully going to explode later on. But this one, I don't know. But I will say this. Did y'all notice they use Monique as if we were actually going to see her this episode and we didn't see her this episode? Did y'all catch that? Because they made it seem like we was about to see Monique this episode and her randomly opening up a door. And I could have sworn I didn't see that. So I was like, y'all think y'all slick. I'm telling y'all, they brought Monique back to get them ratings back because they know Monique equals ratings. So I was just like, really? Y'all gonna make it seem like we about to see Monique and she ain't even here. Okay, so with that being said, I had as relap think, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Kashari. Well, if you have Instagram, DM me, please. We need to talk, but I'm gonna pray for you also. Anybody who want me to put them on the prayer list, child, let me know. Let me know. You know, I act a little ratchet, but you know I'm a believer in Yahweh. Do you hear me? Amen. The mama's getting into it. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that, baby. We will talk about that. So let's get started with the first couple or throuple. Goddess Moo, aka Boo Boo, and Bonita Applebomb. Okay. So check this out. She speaks to Moo, and she's like, I spoke to your mom, and I wish I could do the Baltimore accent. I spoke to your mom, and she said your stuff is at your ex house, and and it has to be picked up. And he was like, well, yeah, just have my mama do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want the drama, so just have my mom pick it up. And she's like, nah, I want to go. And I was like, oh, so you want the drama? You want the drama. So meanwhile, Moo talking about he got all of this stuff. Now, he claimed he's such a legit businessman, but yet he's in jail. Okay, yet he's in jail. He talking about he got real estate. We know what real estate means for somebody in jail. He got all of this other stuff. So he left like jewelry, like he left clothes. He left $250,000. And I said, who in their right mind who's a legit businessman got $250,000 stashed in somebody's house? Boy, you're telling on yourself. You are telling on yourself 50 times over. Meanwhile, Bonita goes to this like straight up hole in the wall jewelry store. Okay? And literally it's like, I need to replace the ring that Mumu gave me. His name is Damond, and I need to replace it. And she tells us that she's very impulsive. And I was like, yeah, we understand that. We understand that. We can see all up in your eyes that you ain't all there and you are very impulsive. She was like, yeah, I'm impulsive. So Mumu don't know that I have sold all his stuff. I sold all his stuff, like everything. And I am so scared to tell him. And I lost the engagement ring. So I got to go and replace it. And I'm thinking like, okay. And so she said, yeah, give me something that matches what he gave me in 2018. And I'm like, 2018? You really think you about to get something similar from 2018 unless it's customly made? Like, what are you talking about? And literally, he's like, okay, well, I got something that's similar and it's $5,000. So she's like, I mean, damn, $5,000? Who spent $5,000 on a ring? And I'm like, girl, that's cheap. That's cheap. That $5,000 ain't that much money for a ring. But it is, I guess, pretty pricey for someone who ain't got no budget. But at the same time, if you spend $5,000 on a ring, one would think that you have insurance on that ring, and literally you could just get it replaced through the insurance if you quote unquote lost it. But if you ask me, let's just say if that ring was legitimately $5,000, yeah, she pawned it. You sold everything else, but you lost that. Who you think you fooling? Who you think you fooling? You pawned it, okay? You gave it up. You gave it up to get some money or do whatever you need to do with it. So at that point, she was like, can we get a cheaper ring? Okay, honey. Now look, at the end of the day, exactly, $5,000 to $65, $64. That's why I was just like, child, bye. Meanwhile, now here's the thing, though. I'll say this. I ain't mad at Bonita. I ain't mad at Bonita Applebaum for selling his stuff and using that $250,000 if she used it to take care of his kids. At the end of the day, when you in jail, you can't pay child support. So as far as I see it, and depending on how long he been in there too, yeah, that $250,000 stash and that other stuff, if I got to take care of your kids, it's gone. Now, did she really spend all of that on her kids? We don't know. We don't know. Meanwhile, Goddess is talking to him about how, well, does your baby mama know about me? And he like, nah, I don't know. I don't think so. No, they don't know about you. And she's like, what do you mean they don't know about me? Oh, I gotta go. Click. And so she called her friend. And she like, oh, Mumu done pissed me off. He done pissed me off. Like, all my baby daddy know about Mumu. And pretty much he doing some sneaky stuff or whatever the case may be. He lying. This ain't the only lie he done told you. And he gonna continue to lie to you. And yet you still gonna be with him. Mumu ain't that cute. He ain't that cute. First of all, I would not. Do you hear me? Mumu is not cute for a 30-year-old dude. Mumu maybe when he's 3, you know what I'm saying? But Mumu as a freaking grown man, his name is Damond, period. So she talk about how she feel like she lying and she feel stupid. Baby, you are stupid. Because let me tell you something, Goddess. You are a beautiful woman who clearly has a baby daddy who is there to support you and your children. I think she got more than one child. I definitely know that she has that daughter. Why don't you get back with him? And you have a freaking baby daddy's father, your child's grandfather, who's very supportive as well. Like, what's going on here? Unless you done did something crazy with a baby daddy, like, we gonna be friends, but we will never get back together again. I don't know. But what I do know is that Goddess, it ain't even worth it. And truth be told, Bonita is not an ugly girl too. She's also beautiful. She just don't look all there in the eyes. I mean, we already talking about how she was hugging trees and stuff, and the trees was talking back the last time we saw her. So, she a little interesting. But we gonna continue on. Who child of Timu, Nick Cannon. Let's get into this. Richie Rich and by Felicia. So look, let me tell y'all something. What's up with the Love After Lockup franchise always wanting people to talk to mediums? Like, what is up with them always want to talk to some so-called medium? So at this point, he sits down with this medium and he tells the medium, my girlfriend is incarcerated and pretty much I need to know if I'm being a fool. And I'm like, you need for her to tell you that? Okay. And so he's like, yeah, I got to know because, I saw her in a dream and, I ended up finding her on, this app. And so the medium is claiming they have a soul tie, and this is definitely a soul tie from his past. And next thing we know, she starts talking about how he has emptiness that has been there for a long time, and also because of never connecting with the right person. And because she says that, he starts crying like a baby. He starts crying like he just lost someone. And I was like, oh my gosh, like for someone who's been married twice, like for her to say that to you, a complete stranger, and you start crying, and he talking about, I don't know why I'm crying, I'm not emotional. Well, clearly you are. Clearly you are, sir. But here's the thing, sir. You know how you say, well, she claims you've never connected with the right person. You know who that right person is? You. You've never connected with yourself. You don't know yourself, okay? That's why you keep chasing these impossible relationships or toxic relationships, because you don't want to do the work within yourself. You don't want to do the work within you to get yourself together. And once you get yourself together, you will attract the right type of woman. All right? Because see, don't nobody want to do the internal work on themselves. They always want somebody else to do the work for them so they can completely ignore what they need to work on. So his first wife, the second wife, and Felicia is just pretty much a way for him to mask what he really needs to work on, which is himself. So the medium tells him like, yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, she lying to you, homie. She's not telling you the truth. Okay, she's a sneaky thing. You thinking she ain't tainted because she went in at 17. When that girl, by the time she was 17, probably lived the life of someone who was 47. But okay, so then we see her, and she's like, yeah, I ain't never seen Rich in person, but my ex, he in jail for Samur, you know what I mean, Samur, the unalive charge, and said he don't play about me, he crazy. He ain't the one to play with. And I know that, if my ex get out, he could definitely be an issue, you know what I'm saying, for me and my relationship. But hey, I hope Rich can handle all of this. Child. Rich, let me tell you something. You will be on the first 48 dealing with this girl, okay? Either the first 48 are snapped, you're going to be on one or the other dealing with this girl. Literally, you the one who's not tainted. You the one who clearly got Gumby written on your forehead. Gumby, Gumpy, Gump. You got all of that written on your forehead. All of it. So the fact that you sitting up there thinking, because she been in there since she was 17, she about to wear you out. Wear you out. And you're going to be in toxic relationship number 4080. Okay? So yeah, good luck to you, sir. But did I kind of feel bad that he was crying? Yes, because it's clearly much deeper than him not finding the right person. He hasn't found him yet. He hasn't done the work internally yet. So that's why he's crying. He's trying to find love in all the wrong places instead of love within himself. So I'm going to just need for you to get it together and really get yourself together. And I can promise you, when you get yourself together, you'll start attracting the right women instead of women in prison, okay, who got a father who apparently don't even like Black men in the first place. All right? Get it together, Rich. Get it together. So let's move on. Let's move on. And I think the medium even told him he needs to really, like, they're going to break up, but he has a chance to get back together, and pretty much said in a nutshell, Rich, You need to just like find happiness and drop this situation. The medium is straight saying this. Now, you know, at the end of the day, they like toxic stuff too, because all you're going to do is keep coming back trying to figure out what that person is thinking. But the fact that she's saying you need to just drop the situation says a lot. Now, let's get to this dumb. Emily and Justin. Let's talk about it. First of all, I thank Jesus for me having morals and integrity. This child said she made $5,000 in 1 week at that brothel and said that was kind of low. Oh, if I could only be Ronnie from the Players Club. If I could only be Ronnie from the Players Club, to not have no morals and integrity and literally just whatever. I wish I could. 5,000 in 1 week. And then she had the nerve to say that her first tape that she ever did, she made $4,000 in 1 week. Now I see, which I still don't like it because she got a son, but now I see why she in that business. Because she too stupid to do anything else. This girl just ain't bright at all. But I feel for her because I need to know really what is going on in your behind the scenes and in your past where you have that mentality in all different ways. You naive and you got your legs wide open. I'm a little confused, but let's get into it. She calls the son and they put the son on the show again. That bothers me. That bothers me that she has her son's picture, her son on FaceTime. He is a little boy. I can't even imagine if people start picking on him because of what his mother does. Why do we need to see him? Why isn't his face blurred? That really bothers me with all the bullying and stuff that's going on today, and these kids can't handle it with social media on top of that. That really disturbs me. But she cries to her son and she says, you know, she'll be home soon. And I'm just thinking, like, the way that you can hustle your cooch, why can't you hustle closer to home and find a legitimate hustle that you don't have to use that and really make money? Like, it takes some finessing to really sometimes kind of get the money that you want in those type of situations. Use that hustle for something else. But I digress. But let me continue. She said Justin never asked her for money until about a month and a half ago. He started asking her for money, and like a dummy, she's been giving it to him. Meanwhile, she starts crying because she received some alert on her phone, and she starts to break down because remember, we heard Brittany's name last episode, because she was on Brittany's account, if I'm not mistaken, to actually do the video call with him, and they shut it off. And like a dum-dum, she said, well, my name is Emily, but I'm under Brittany's account. Just stupid. So she explains that Brittany and Liz are ex-girlfriends of Justin. And she explains that Brittany actually hooked her up with Justin. Let me repeat that. Justin's ex, Brittany, hooked up Emily and Justin. And I said, she don't even realize she is a straight mark. Meanwhile, she says she's cool with Brittany, but her and Liz don't get along because Liz still trying to talk to Justin or whatever the case may be. And I said, I don't think you realize, before I even saw the rest of the scenes, I said, I don't think she realized she getting played. Brittany hooked her up with Justin so she could be Justin's sugar mama. Okay. And so meanwhile, Liz sends her a message pretty much saying and confirming that, yeah, he's using you for money. You're just an ATM. Automatically thoughts money. Yes, automatically thoughts money. And I'm like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Here we go again. So instead of her sitting up there cussing her out or checking Justin, she starts crying. And this is when I started feeling bad, because I said, we need to know your background, ma'am. You don't value your body. You also don't value a lot of things, and you're very naive. It's very interesting. Like I said, I've never met an honest hoe in my life. I've never met an honest hoe. Most hoes are scammy and very cunning and very, like, she seems like a very naive hoe. I've never seen this before in my life. So I need to really know her past. Like I really, really do. So at that point, she's like, I hope Justin isn't using me. Baby, he is. Hell, they all using you. They all using you. And she says that she's been cheated on in every single relationship she's been in. And I said, well, then that means, guess what? You're the common denominator, okay? And truth be told, yo, cooch is also the common denominator. You got a common denominator cooter, okay? Look, it is what it is. So then at that point, we find out the ex, Liz, honey, still wants him, all right? And so Liz and Brittany are sitting down together, and Liz says that her and Emily actually started off as friends, all right? And that she claims that for whatever reason, her and Emily fell apart. Their friendship fell apart. And she's like, she doesn't understand for whatever reason it fell apart. It fell apart because you was never her friend. You was just trying to get close to her to get information. You were a frenemy. You just pretended to be friends with her, but you was really an enemy. So then at that point, Liz is like, he doesn't really want her, and especially with the work that she does. And Brittany says, yeah, because she's a placeholder. That's what she is. She's a placeholder. And then she was like, well, it was supposed to be temporary, but then all of a sudden he claims that he fell head over heels over her. And she was like, what? Like, Justin, what are you doing? Like, what the heck are you doing? And I said, this is so sad that she don't even realize that she getting pimped and played, Emily getting pimped and played, and they probably all getting the cut off of the money that she's sending to Justin. She don't even know, all right? So then at this point, Liz is like, well, he can't handle that. What's his is his, and he wants control, so he can't handle the type of work that she does. And Brittany agrees. So then they go outside, Justin calls. And Brittany is trying to talk to Justin. Liz practically snatches the phone from her. She was like, I want to talk. She's like, what's up, Justin? What's up? And Justin's like, what do you mean, what's up? And she was like, you done blocked me from everything. And Justin said, because you were all up in my situation. Mind you, I think he said situation. He didn't say my relationship. He said situation. Girl, Emily. And then she says, well, I had a right to. And he was like, no, you don't. And she was like, yes, I do, because she's not in your best interest, Justin. And I said, oh, she sounds like a straight possessive psycho. She's telling this man what's in her best interest. And she says, look, I love you and I want to rebuild this. And I need to know what's going on. Meanwhile, she says when they were together a couple years back, the relationship was too toxic, but she thinks it can work now. You think? You still sound toxic and crazy. All of y'all sound toxic. You think? Really? So then at this point, Brittany is talking to freaking Justin, and he's like, well, maybe, you know what I'm saying, this girl isn't for me. And Brittany's like, she's not. And Liz is laughing at it. And she was like, but this is my situation, or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, this is insane, pathetic. And while you guys are so busy trying to talk about Emily, all of y'all, especially Liz and Brittany, are looking like some straight demonic freaking characters right now. Plotting and scheming, because that's exactly what it was. Plotting and scheming. And Justin too. Justin too. I mean, at the end of the day, we found out Justin is no longer with us, but it seems to me that he definitely was trying to get her for money, but claims that he fell over. I don't know if he actually loved the girl or not. I don't know. But what I do know is Brittany and Liz are trying to do everything they can to break it up. And she thinks that she's in the best interest of Justin. Girl, bye. She looked cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in those freaking scenes. She did. She looked insane in the membrane. I'm like, girl, please, you still toxic, he toxic, Brittany toxic. All of y'all could be together at this point. But I want a background on Emily. She's talking about her son. She's talking about she went into the Freaky Tales work to take care of her son. There's a deeper story there, and I am hoping they tap into it, because I need to know how she could be this naive but work in this industry. Like the industry of ex working, it's a cutthroat industry, like most industries, I guess, but it's a cutthroat industry. It's cutthroat. You have to navigate. You're worried about your life. We done seen all of those freaking, what was those HBO shows? Not just the Bunny Ranch, but what was that HBO show that was in the Bronx? My New York people, help me out. It was an actual show that was talking about those, you know what I'm saying, street walkers in the Bronx. Hunter's Point. I think it was Hunter's Point. We done seen too many documentaries on this. And have you ever found a naive hoe? It just don't happen. That industry ain't nothing to play with. And I just never met anyone who's such a Sesame Street type of girl in that business. So I got to know her background. It's quite fascinating how she acts. So yeah, if anybody got the deets on Emily, let me know, because she's wild. She's a very interesting character, that she's that gullible, but does that type of work, honey. That gullible. But anyways, let's move on. Whoo, child. Something is with that chick. You better say that again. Very toxic relationship. Absolutely. Yes. And then they did a spit off. Yes, I remember that, Mrs. T. And have you ever met someone as gullible as Emily? Have you ever met her? No. Now, I'm from California. Y'all know this is a slick name, Pitback Central. Just like places like Detroit and some other places as well that's known for it. Trust and believe. I can sniff one out. I promise you I can. I remember one time I was getting my hair done and my hairstylist was like, those girls that I did before you, they were workers. I said, yeah, I know. She said, how you know? I'm like, I can tell. Okay, it's just a certain vibe. I can tell. But anyway, let's move on. Yes, Hunter's Point. Yes, it was. Hunter's Point. Thank you. Kaylee and production, which honestly, it was very obvious that Kaylee knew the drama was going to hit. Kaylee and production had her mom and her mother-in-law meet up, honey. And meet up for this scripted BS. You watched, I watched them too, Leo. Ain't no shame in it. They were quite entertaining. Sad, but entertaining. That's the good old days of HBO. The after dark hours, you feel me? So yeah, so this scripted BS that Kaylee planned with production, his mother, Michael's mother, is definitely not one to play with. It seems like she seems to be very honest with how effed up her son is, but also how effed up Kaylee is, all right? And so she's pretty much saying that she wants to make sure that her son takes responsibility in regards to, look, I'm not catering to your every need. You got yourself in prison yet again, so you handle it. So they end up sitting down. She sure was, while she was sipping that water. You saw when she was sipping that water while they was talking with a smirk on her face. We see you, Kaylee. You ain't no great actress, honey. So then at that point, they sit down, and to me, her mama came in hot like, I'm taking care of your son and my child. And the mother's like, well, then you're stupid. Michael's mama was like, well, then you're stupid. I told your daughter she was stupid for marrying him. I told your daughter she was stupid for getting that tattoo on her butt. All of y'all stupid, okay? And so Kaylee's mother was like, well, why don't you take care of your child? She was like, I go visit him. Ooh, visitation, but I'm taking care of him financially. She said, well, you stupid too. You stupid too. He needs to learn. He needs to get on his feet. He needs to get on his feet himself, point blank, period. And so at that point, Michael's mom, I'm trying not to laugh. Michael's mom is like, at least I'm not like you, running up your child's credit and getting bills in her name and ruining her life before her life even starts. And Kaylee's mom was like, that is our past. We're working through that. We've moved past that. And she admits in the confessional, she said, when they were younger, I couldn't pay my electric bill. So I did some horrible things. And I put my child's name on the electric bill and other bills. And I feel horrible about that. I feel really guilty about that. Well, look, I'm from the hood, and I know plenty of mothers who did that nonsense, and they wasn't even on no type of addiction. You know what I mean? That was like a hood rite of passage, unfortunately, that you literally have mamas who would do that. They will put their children's name on an electric bill or a phone bill in a heartbeat with no hesitation and wouldn't blink twice about it. I've seen it, 50,000 times over. So at least we can say in this situation, her mother was dealing with some type of addiction issue. You got some of these mamas out here that ain't got no addiction issue, but they still doing it. Okay. So at the end of the day, she says she feels really guilty about it. But here's my thing. She feels guilty about it, so she's willing to pay. Not Kashari say she thought we the only ones who do that. What you mean we the only ones who do that? You talking about black folks? Hell nah. You got white folks, you got Hispanic folks, you got folks who do that all the time. Let's keep in mind that statistics show people on welfare, most of them, the majority on welfare, don't look like us. They don't look like us. So yeah, they all get down like that. All get down like that. The hood is the hood. The hood has no color. The hood mentality has no color. It's just that one group calls it the hood. The other group call it, I don't know, trailer maybe. I don't know. What the other groups call it? Y'all let me know, because I know y'all don't call it the hood. We call it the hood. But anywho, so with that being said, she feels bad about it. So what she's trying to do is buy Kaylee's love. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to buy Kaylee's love when Kaylee knows she's doing that and she's taking advantage of it. She's getting her mother back for everything that she's done to her, but at the same time says, well, you do kind of enable me, but you don't have a problem with her enabling you because you feel you need to get your get back. You need to get your get back, okay? So at this point, again, we see Kaylee smirking back and forth, loving every minute of it. They doing their little insults and pettiness back and forth. And so finally, Michael's mother says, look, I'm not thinking that I'm better than, but I'm better than you. And next thing I know, water is thrown. Now, Michael's mama didn't throw no water back. All she did was scream about her coffee. But the biggest situation when the water flung over to Michael's mama was Kaylee saying, oh my God, shots fired. Shots fired. And I said, did they tell you to say that? Did they tell you to say that? Because it didn't even feel organic. Oh my God, shots fired. I said, really, Kaylee? Kaylee, it looked like you wanted to laugh so hard when that went down. Like you couldn't help yourself. And literally, Michael's mom seemed like she was steaming, like she was so mad. But honestly, I had to laugh at her because I felt like she was overacting. Because I'm like, if you was that mad, you would have threw something back at her. And so literally at that point, Kaylee's mama calls her a whore and she leaves. And Michael's mom was like, you keep her on a leash. Do you hear me? You keep her on a leash. Keep her away from me. And Kaylee just looks at her and was like, yes, okay. And child, I said, really? I said, okay, well, let me tell you something. Michael's mama can talk a good game, but she didn't have no action to fight back. I guess she said she ain't about to deal with that lady. She done been in prison before, so she not about to go too crazy on her. She got a lot of mouth, but she ain't got a lot of action. And honestly, I would probably take Kaylee's mama over Michael's mama any day, but that's just me. But again, can't let the size fool you. With that being said, hey, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the hype button for your girl. So let's get into it with Lord help me. Lord help me. All right. Ayesha, and his actual name is Michael. Talking about Mikhael. I really want to know if that's how you spell his name, or that's the name, that's the way he has her spell it, so she can't really find him in the system or something. I don't know. Let's talk about it. This woman is something special to be 54 years old, I'm going to tell you. All right, so Ayesha, you are a girl that's a dumbass. Okay, so Ayesha goes to meet Michael's aunt, all right? And it's in the middle of nowhere, straight up in the country. And she says, we don't call him Mikhael, we call him Michael. And I was like, okay, so is it Mikhael or is it Michael? Is it Target? Like what is this? Is this like a Target type situation? But one thing I will say, let me say something positive about Mikhael. I like the fact that these Black folks seem to own that land. You like that remix, girl? Thank you. Old school people know what I was humming to with that Ayesha. Yeah, people know. Yeah, so I think she said they own that land, all of that land that looked like at least an acre or more. I love to see my people own land because we know, based off of history, a lot of land was taken from us. So I love that they have land. The problem is this trifling fool maybe possibly was using that land for his own illegal situation, which is trifling as all get out because that could affect his whole family. But with that being said, they said, yeah, he grew up here, but he ended up building like some place or whatever out far in the woods or whatnot. That's where he actually lived or whatever. And his father, helped him, like fix it up or whatnot. And so at that point, Ayesha was like, oh, well, can we go see it? And she was like, sure. So she takes the aunt and they drive to a certain part where they had to drive. They clearly couldn't walk. They drove to a certain part. And then she ends up going into the woods with her friend. Wouldn't be me. I don't care if they even had cameras. It would not be me walking in those woods. Just wouldn't happen, okay? So at that point, she's like, does he even have an address? What the heck is this? Like, it seemed like, a substance lord live here, whatever the case may be. By the time they get to that freaking trailer, baby, it looked like a trap house. You did look like Blair Witch Projects. Thank you, Leo. I was thinking, I said, what is this giving me vibes of? I kept saying it's witchy, but it was the Blair Witch Project. Yes, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? So she's looking, she's like, oh my gosh. She was like, what the heck? He claimed he had beautiful farmland. What the heck happened to it? Good question. What did happen to it? So next thing we know, we see 3 months ago that they have a video and he's saying that, he had livestock and he had cows and he had hogs. Meanwhile, we only see one picture of him and one animal in the background. Just him and one animal in the background. I'm telling y'all, I feel like that was code. He was speaking in code for what livestock really meant. When he said cows, he was talking about sugar for the boogers, Coca-Cola. When he was talking about hogs, he was talking about that H. Yeah, that's my opinion on the situation. Because how you claim you got all of this livestock and we only see one little fur baby animal in the background, and you mean to tell me that since you've been in, nobody in your family knew how to take care of that farmland? Nobody in your family was able to take care of that farmland, but yet you grew up on the farm? Make it make sense to me. So yeah, cows and hogs, that's code words. Code words, all right? So then at that point, she goes inside and she's like, oh my gosh, this place looked like it's been ransacked. What up, Al? How are you? She's like, this place has been ransacked and it looks like somebody came in here and just destroyed everything. And then all of a sudden you see this random manila envelope with all this paperwork in it. And I'm like, I swear this all looks staged and plotted. I don't know about y'all, but it looked like it was a little staged and plotted. But she says, look, we're going to take all of this because we need to figure out some information. We're going to take all of this. Mind you, when they got there, it was still light outside. By the time they leave, it is dark outside. And her friend, like, I wonder if the aunt is still in the car. Where the hell else she going to go? She ain't about to sit up there and walk nowhere in them woods. She ain't crazy. So I'm like, get the heck up out of here. You ask me, I don't know if he ever had a farm. He may have sat up there and had a horse or a donkey, but I don't know if he ever had a farm. And I think none of his family really wanted to deal with him in that way. And they made him build something out in the woods so they didn't have to deal with him. That's just my personal opinion. So then at that point, they get back to the car and the aunt is still in the car. And she was like, hi. She was like, so, I haven't heard from him. And so I'm trying to figure out, do you know how much time he has? The aunt looked at her and she was like, he got life. Yeah, he has life. But he don't deserve life. And I'm like, Auntie, bless your heart. You're going to still protect that nephew until the end of time. But my educated guess is he deserves it. She's like, he ain't do nothing that bad to get life. 3 strikes, you're out. 3 strikes, you're out. And so Ayesha's like, he got life? And I'm like, yeah, heifer, that 999 years, life. Like the actual movie Life. Gavel. Life. Yes, he has life. But then she's still in her freaking confessional looking like the character from Bebe's Kids that Neil Carter portrayed. And for those who remember the freaking character from Bebe's Kids, Neil Carter, he still love you. He's still in love with you. With that blonde hair and them blue eyes. Watch Bebe's Kids and look at her picture in the Bebe's Kids cartoon character that Neil Carter played. She was the bigger cartoon in Bebe's Kids. The one who always was eating, saying she needs to live. Yes, her. Look at Ayesha and look at that character on Bebe's Kids. Okay, just look it up. But anywho, with that being said, Ayesha says, well, he knows that if I hear something that I don't want to hear, that I could just disappear, and he don't want to chance it. Well, you've just heard several things that you don't want to hear, and you're still there. You got confirmation from the aunt, he has life. You got confirmation by going through them woods. He ain't got no beautiful farmland. He got a freaking trap house in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that's what you already know, and yet you're still saying he doesn't want to chance it, that you will disappear. You should have disappeared a long time ago. But like a dum-dum, you're going to stay. You're going to stay until you actually speak to him. Okay, this man has played you and pretty much said he was getting out soon when he really has life. Forever. He's never getting out. And you still trying to figure out and pick up the pieces for this fool? Child, he probably trying to use you to continue with his livestock and hogs and cows, if you know what I mean. And you will probably be the dum-dum to do it. He looks older in his jailhouse video confessionals. He does. 45 my behind. He look more like he around 55, 60 years old. Like, seriously. So, yeah, y'all. Show keeps using Mikhael's audition tape as a confession. Is that the audition tape? Is that the audition tape, Mrs. T? It could be. And they haven't heard from him since. It could be. I don't know. Maybe he's in a hole. Some guys, they be in the holes for months at a time. And I don't know if they can really tell people when they're in the hole. Unless like maybe a family member, but not her. She has no ties to him legally, and that's not blood. So he could be in the hole. And he apparently is in Elmore. And I feel like somebody told me if he was in Elmore, that means he ain't getting out anytime soon. I feel like somebody wrote that, if that's the same prison, in my chat. So yeah, so pretty much, if you ask me, I wouldn't be shocked if she already knew this and she just wanted to get on TV so she can do those freaking hokey pokey Sesame Street raps that she was doing in the first episode. I wouldn't put it past her. See, one thing about these women and these men, well, let me take that back. These women who be literally in relationships with these guys in prison, they're great investigators. Have you noticed that? A lot of them can be great investigators. Something tells me she knew and she used this for a come up. I I just can't believe she's this stupid at 54 years old living in Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know. She wanted to sit up there and do her Yo Mama raps. I think that's her name. Is it Big Mama? What's her freaking rap name? Big Mama, Yo Mama, something like that. She wanted to do that thinking that was going to get her buzz, make it seem like she about to pop on a freaking Love During Lockup show. Let me tell you something, ma'am. If you haven't noticed, that's the way to bomb your career. Okay. And no one makes it off of these shows trying to rap. They don't. Yeah, the show keeps showing. So so did it show up? Because I haven't seen that part. It's so crazy how certain things I notice and other things I don't. They actually put in parentheses, or they put up there when he's talking Mikhael audition tape. If that's what they're doing, that is hilarious. So that means that he probably doesn't have access, or he can't even call people right now. So yeah, so that was the end of the episode, y'all. We done. We are done. Okay. That was the end of the episode. Like I said, it was an okay episode. I feel like they're giving us little jewels, or whatever the case may be, to hopefully have some crazy stuff get juicy and interesting. But I don't know. I'm going to be honest with y'all. What scares me is they try to use Monique as bait for us to continue to watch, I think the reason why they made it seem like that Monique was coming up in the previews because they know she is the one that is constantly going to get the audience going. Because I was like, now, why would you show us that she's like, who was that at the door? And then she's opened up the door and then you turn it off just for us to see that she's not even on this episode. So something tells me that they numbers ain't doing that well, and they had to pull out all the stops by bringing Monique back. They had to pull out all the stops. You know what? At the end of the day, I guess whatever's going to work for them is going to work, but I'm going to need for them to get it together and give us a good season. That's what I do know. I know, Liz, you are late, boo-boo. I've been on for 47 minutes. I'm trying to get this done before the Super Bowl kickoff, which starts in like 4 minutes. And I'm really shocked that I still got a decent amount of viewers in here in the Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all love me, huh? You love me. You really, really love me. And I love y'all for wanting to listen to my reviews, honey. That was weird because I thought Monique was going to show up after commercial break. Exactly. Mo is letting the show use her. Yeah, she's letting the show use her. She gets paid off of it, and she can promote herself and promote the companies and stuff that she advertises and everything. Because all of the wigs and stuff that she does, those are like companies, I think, that pay her. She's an influencer with them wigs. That girl can lay some dang on wigs. I wish I had the skill set. And I probably could with patience, but I don't have the patience to be doing my hair like that. I pay someone to do that for me. I ain't got time for that. I just don't. I be trying, but I be like, I ain't got patience. I like to get pampered. Let me get pampered. The show just moved her out to an empty B&B to film. Yeah, I have no idea you were live. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I was going to do like later after the Super Bowl, but it seems like people didn't respond. So I was like, let me just do it now and have the rest of my day. Because like I told y'all, people watch the Super Bowl around here. And sometimes, like, you know, people get loud. They love the Super Bowl, honey. So y'all may be hearing screaming and everything else, child. Yeah, I had no idea. Monique is propaganda. You strike. you can't strike twice. I feel like they are using Monique, like I said, to get their ratings up. Because we can't deny that Monique's seasons were like seasons that were probably their biggest seasons for a very long time. So yeah, they did. I said, oh, Monique is on this episode. And then I was like, what the hell? What happened to the door scene? Who was at the door? I said, now they trying to be slick using Monique, and she's not even on this episode. Ayesha wig look pulled back more this episode. It just shifted. Like Sheree said, I just shifted it a little bit. It shifted in the wind, okay? Maybe she got her wig pulled on one of them branches in the wood and it shifted a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It shifted in the woods. Who knows? But yeah, you guys, with that being said, that was a review. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. If y'all thought it was pretty good. What are you guys thinking so far about these couples? Yeah, and Rich, especially because Rich is the only male this season who is waiting for his jailbait to come out. What do y'all think about him crying? And what do you think about him not even asking the proper questions that you should ask anyone, never mind her being in jail, but asking about her past? Shows you a lot going on too with him, right? But yeah, he is the only male this season that we had. He reminds me of the guy from last season, Paul Bunyan with Courtney. Yeah, he kind of reminded me of the Black Paul Bunyan. The editing's always so choppy on this show. Very choppy, isn't it? Isn't it? But with that being said, you guys, happy Super Bowl Sunday for those who are going to watch the Super Bowl or the halftime show. I'm not. I'm back on my strike. I actually regret that I took the bait for the West Coast shows to watch the freaking halftime shows. I'm back on my strike, especially after these EP files. I ain't going to say the name. After them EP files, I'm really on my strike for a lot of stuff. No, I'm not doing it. So I'm not watching the Super Bowl. This is going to be my time to get my house in order and do some other things that I need to do before I have to work tomorrow. Good old Mondays. I'm wondering, will he cross over to Love after Lockup? Probably. He probably will cross over. Okay, before I go, who do you guys think is going to cross over to Love after Lockup? I think Monique. When he gets out, is definitely going to cross over. They're going to want her for the ratings for sure. Definitely Rich could if she doesn't leave him first. Definitely could. Goddess and Moo and Bonita, depending on the drama, that could be quite interesting. Kaye and Michael. So, I mean, I guess all of them could. I don't know if I would be interested to see Kaye and Michael, though. I don't know. I don't know a Bad Bunny except me. Yeah, I remember one time, I think he had a concert out here in LA, and it was like, parking was insane. I said, what the heck is going on? They said Bad Bunny is performing. I said, who is a Bad Bunny? I said, I know I'm getting old. I was like, who's Bad Bunny? But this just shows you how rigged the media and society is, because how is it ironic? It's so ironic that Bad Bunny, didn't he win Album of the Year? And he's now going to be doing a halftime show. They already announced he's doing a halftime show, but right before he wins Album of the Year, I'm telling you, all of this stuff is rigged. The scammies are rigged. All of it is rigged. Truth be told, a lot of people feel like the Super Bowl is rigged, okay? At this point, I don't trust a lot of stuff that I see at this point. I'm on the fence about Monique crossing over. I'm not. I feel like they will hold on to her as long as they can. They will hold on to her as long as they can. As long as she's willing to do the show, I definitely feel like she'll cross over. Because she's still talking to Titus. She still talks to him. Like, I literally talked to Monique about the last episode when he called her a dumb bitch. And she gave her reasoning on it. She gave her reasoning on it, but she definitely seems to be very protective over that man. So she's still with him. From what I can see, she's still with him. So I can see her crossing over, depending on when he gets out. And I feel like they said he's getting out soon. Yeah, I'm old school. I kept saying, who is exactly? I was like, who is that? But yeah, you guys, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for holding me down. Just to let y'all know I typically try to get lives in during the week. Your girl's been super busy. And at times, I'm not going to even hold you super stressed. And one thing about it, I always told you guys, I'm never going to come and try to do a live just for the sake of doing a live if I am not mentally in it and I can't give you guys my all as far as my reviews or the conversation that we had. If I'm just not there all the way there, and because there's a lot of stuff going on with work and just being busy and occupied, I'll just wait until I feel like I'm ready. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it's fair to you guys. It's like, I'm not one of those people who just want to push out content just to push it out to stay in the algorithm. Those who rock with me, rock with me. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate those who rock with me and continue to rock with me. But once things kind of, slow down, I'll be back to doing more reviews during the week. I promise you. Oh, is she? I haven't heard anything about her even dating him. Yeah, I mean, she's saying that she at least told me she's still with the man. Leo, our time has passed. Will we have faith we're going to get some good old... No, the way you're going to get good old R&B is going back to the old school R&B. That's the way we going to get it. Listening to old school R&B. Just popping them tapes in, child. A lot this generation don't even know what a cassette tape is. They don't even know what a CD is. We thought CDs was so fancy, having a CD player in our car, child. But they don't even know what that is. But yeah, that's how you're gonna get your old school. Just go back to the old school and listen to that. But with that being said, you guys, love y'all. It looks like, yes, tip off, kickoff, what they call a tip off, kickoff. You see, shows how much I know football. It has officially started. So if y'all gonna watch it, enjoy the game. If not, enjoy your Sunday. Love y'all. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.